Title: My M was afraid of doctors and I nearly died from a muscle cramp. My mother, the M of our tale, grew up in a household that didn't believe in doctors or going to the hospital. This translated to an irrational fear of hospitals for my M. At the time of this story I was 14, in high school, and about to have a very bad day. I should start by saying that my M lives exactly 1 mile away from the closest emergency room. Also, my siblings and father were out of town for a competition that weekend. I didn't feel like going to another cheerleading competition, so I stayed home. I get home from school on a Friday around 4 p.m. and call M to tell her that I don't feel good and think I need to see a doctor. M says that she has a 1-hour workout with her personal trainer, PT, who happens to train the whole family for our sports teams. M tells me that she will come home right after and take me to the pediatrician. 4:40 p.m. I call M saying that something is seriously wrong with me and I really think I need to go to the hospital. She tells me that PT just had a cancellation and she is staying for another hour workout, then she will take me to the doctor. 5:10 p.m. I call M and beg her to come home because I'm in a lot of pain and feel terrible. She gives the phone over to PT who says, "I shit you not, it sounds like a muscle cramp from our workout last week, you'll be fine buddy." She says she will call our friendly neighbor, FN, across the street to check on me. 10 minutes later I hear FN walk in through the door and come to my room to check me out. I'm on the floor because I fell after going to the bathroom and couldn't get up. She helps me into bed and immediately calls M. Convo goes something like this: FN, "Hey M, I think you need to get here ASAP. Your son is white as a sheet and sweating bullets. Also he is in so much pain he can barely move." M, "Oh, I'm sure he is fine, probably just overreacting from a muscle cramp like PT says." FN, "This isn't just a muscle cramp. He needs to see a doctor. I can put him in my car and meet you at hospital that is only 1 mile away." M, "No need for that, I'll finish up here and head home to take him to the doctor." Click. 5:45 p.m. FN calls M again and M says she is in changing room, then will be home in 10 minutes, gym is pretty close. 6:20 p.m. M finally gets home. FN tell her what I've been going through and says I need to go to the M says she is taking me to see our pediatrician. M does take me to see our pediatrician, who also runs a pediatric The problem is that doctor's office is 25 minutes drive away with zero traffic, and we are at the ass end of rush hour. 7:15-ish p.m. we get to the pediatric and they immediately take me into the back to see what's wrong. Turns out I have an acute appendicitis and it's close to bursting, so they need to send me over to hospital 1 mile from my house to get it removed. The entire time my M is murmuring about needing to get ready for a trail the next day. She's a divorce lawyer, and how I'll probably be fine and just need to sleep it off. Then there comes a moment when M is out of the room, but I have a doctor and nurse in the room alone with me. I tell them the whole story about how I've been trying to get her to take me to the since 4, how we lived only a mile away from the hospital they wanted to send me, but my M decided to go here because she hates big hospitals. The doctor didn't really believe me until I told him to MapQuest, old school I know, my address relative to the hospital. I managed to convince them to call for an ambulance to transport me to the hospital to make sure I got there. After my surgery, the nurse told me that my appendix burst as they began the surgery, so they had to be quick. To this day I still tease PT every time I see him by grabbing my side and saying I think I have a muscle cramp. Title: My transphobic entitled mother. Repost because mods took down my post. I didn't even get a reason why. Not a message, just taken down without telling me. Mods silencing an abuse victim? Hi Reddit. If you didn't know, my mother isn't exactly a good parent. Me and my sisters were beaten and abused by her in our childhoods because she couldn't handle raising 3 kids by herself. I was actually removed from the home at age 12 after things took an extreme turn, and my life was put in danger. Fractured ribs, bruised back, legs, and arms, and the stuff in brackets is just a small fraction of what happened. Can't go into detail here as it may get the post removed. I digress. Age 12, I went into foster care till 17. Went semi-independent at age 17. Funny thing is, during my time in care, my mother would act all nice and buy me stuff to try and cover up how shitty she was. After I left care, I went on my own. My being trans at 19, it caused issues in the family. Cousin outed me after I confided in him about considering therapy about it, and it crushed me that he broke my trust like that. My family pretty much made me an outcast. I wrote in a notebook about every shitty thing my family has ever done, and sent it to social services. My mother keeps trying to buy my forgiveness, and to be honest, I am sick of it. I explained to her the abuse of me and my sisters won't undo the damage she did to me, both physically and mentally. Not only that, but if you disown me, be fucking consistent. I have pretty much been ghosting and ignoring her the last 8 or so months, and get texts and calls telling me that if I don't answer her, I will have police at my door, bashing my door in. This is her attempt to exploit my anxiety, which she knows I have, to get her way. I keep getting her these threats, and to be honest, I don't know what to do or say. I can't just forgive someone who decided I wasn't worth their time and removed me from the family. Yes, even during the yearly family get-togethers, reunions, I want nothing to do with it. To be honest, to me, it feels forced. I am not obligated. We may be blood relatives, but we are not family. My mother gets her entitlement from her own mother's narcissistic personality. I finally understand now. Mother used to be nice, but over time, that mask of kindness was replaced with a face I no longer recognize. I don't know how to spell it right, sorry, I don't want my heart to rot like my mother allowed to happen to her because she allowed her bitterness and anger at being a single mother of 3 to consume her. My mother covered up all abuse to save her own reputation, and a few days after I went into foster care, she, conveniently, moved away from the neighborhood after rumors started going around. Yeah, that's not suspicious at all. Destroy all evidence, and bury what you can't. About 97% of my family is entitled, and would rather throw others under the bus than risk their reputations being ruined. Me exposing the abuse made me hated more than me being trans. I am sorry for the long post, but the explanation of my past helps to show why I made this. If you are abused, please, don't stay silent about it. From someone with experience, I ask you to not sit in silence and hope you survive until a miracle happens. Nothing happens until you take action yourself. Nothing happened to me until my teachers noticed the marks on my skin during PE in school. School got social services involved. Title: I'm never going into a store again. Call me a sheep, but I rarely go into stores nowadays. And I certainly don't go anywhere without a mask on. I've done either delivery or pickup for the last 7 months nearly exclusively. Today I decided I needed just a few things and didn't wanna spend the extra money paying delivery fees and tipping cause the store was right up the street. Guy walks in after me with his daughter, I'd guess about 7, both without a mask. When I checked out, he stood less than 2 feet from me with his daughter and his daughter sneezed on me. I didn't say a damn word cause you hear stories about people getting punched or even getting killed confronting anti-maskers. He didn't even acknowledge his daughter sneezed on me in the middle of a damn pandemic. Just said bless you to his daughter. I got out of there right away, but I'm still angry. Title: So I am going to post this from my mom's POV. She's a teacher, so recently, like today, my mom, let's call her Nat, got a new student in class. She came from distance learning but didn't do anything and was forced to go back to school. The new student, let's call her Callie, didn't do any work during distance learning for the first 5 weeks of school, only doing 2 tests, one in math and one history, both failing grades, and when Callie got to my mom's school she still never does anything. Here's the conversation between my mom, M, and the distance learning teacher, let's call her Mary. Mary: I'm sorry ma'am, but we have to send your child to face-to-face learning. M: Okay, but are the grades from the first 5 weeks going to be changed to 100%? Nat: Well, why would we? She failed, didn't do them, we're going to mark them as zeros. But whyyyyyyyy. Mary. As Nat said, she failed and or didn't do them. So why are we going to give her, Callie, free 100% I'm going to report you to the school board. Nat, good luck with that. The as all M's do, never went through with the threat, and Callie still to this day never does any work in class and just opens their Chromebook and just stares at it. So we'll see what happens next. Sorry it's short, but it just happened today, so I'm lacking info.